Sir, can I get a handshake?
Yeah, absolutely. Come on up. Meanwhile, we'll jump up top. You, up top. Sorry. I know how to watch her. Watch the lady. We need her arms. Pleasure, man. Pleasure. Silent Bob over here. The floor is yours.
Okay, so being a big Star Wars fan, I always thought of how I might redo the prequels, and I wanted to know how you would do them a la Kevin Smith. So how would you make Anakin? How would you do the story your way?
I would have done it exactly as George Lucas did it. For any other answer, hit me on the internet. No, I'm actually one of those cats that, like, you know, people are like, oh, fucking Jar Jar. I don't care about stuff like that. Anytime somebody's like, oh, fucking Jar Jar, I'm like, oh, fucking Ewoks. They're like, oh, you're right. Every generation has its little cross to bear within the trilogy. Our generation had Ewoks, their generation has Jar Jar. But I thought that trilogy was wonderful. Like, I wrote 2 reviews for it at one point. And also, who is anybody in this world? You know, I saw a lot of people overreact on the internet that for a couple of years, like, George Lucas raped my childhood. And, you know, it's an insult and a slap in the face to a man who built my childhood, you know, like, he didn't ruin mine. With those flicks, man, I was just like, my position was always like, you guys are nuts. Like, he made the first one, and then he let other people do the second and the third. He's so invested this time, he's gonna make all 3, and you guys are like gonna criticize the dude. It's his universe. Let him do what he wants to do. Even if I couldn't understand the, you know, fucking interstellar tax storyline, I didn't care. I went and saw it first, didn't understand it, went back with an accountant. They explained it. I was like, right on, so these guys are bad. So I wouldn't have changed much. The only thing, I mean, look, he couldn't give us more Boba Fett, right, because we were going back in the past, but he did kind of give us more Boba Fett when he gave us Jango Fett and shit. So as a Star Wars fan of youth, you know, going into the next trilogy, I was not one of those people who was like, I'm disappointed. I was just like, he expanded his own world. Like, there's some shit that I wouldn't have done personally. The big chicken dude in the diner. That, I mean, I would only leave him out because, like, it's tough to be, if anyone in this room can sympathize, tough to be a fat Star Wars fan because there are very few characters that you can cosplay as, and also a very small wealth of characters that people can throw in your face. You know, like, I was a Star Wars fan, of course, Star Wars Empire, and Return of the Jedi came out in '83, but all my classmates knew what a huge Star Wars nerd I was, so naturally, as of Return of the Jedi, I became Jabba. You know, they'd be like, hey man, did you see Return of the Jedi yet? Jabba? You still got your toys? Jabba? And I'd be like, Ichuta. So I don't know, for me going into them, the chicken dude was kind of, I was at a loss for it, because as I watched the scene, I was like, oh God, I'm gonna call this guy's name. Mercifully, I couldn't remember his name, so even if somebody did call me his name, I wouldn't know. Nerd test. But anyway, yeah, there's not much I would have done differently, to be honest with you. But to be fair, I don't have a lot of imagination. Remember, I'm not the guy who makes Star Wars. I'm the guy who makes movies that talk about the Star Wars movies. So I don't have enough imagination to say what should have been done different or something like that. And I was very happy with what they did. I mean, come on, man. You got to remember, I was a kid when there was no internet, there was no cable. We had free fucking television stations, and like one movie came out a month if you were lucky.